Hey guys, in this video, I'll teach you how to create Lexan and Onshape. So to get started, you'll need to be in a part studio, and the type of Lexan that we'll be creating in this video is a bracing Lexan for drive. So it's a nice way to have lightweight bracing for, it's a nice way to have lightweight bracing like anywhere in your butt. So Lexan's good to use. So to get started, you'll create a sketch, and I'll do it on this top plane here. And um, taking a look at the Lexan, there's three holes here, which is 1.5 inches long in this way. And then there's five holes, or since it's a 5 wide drive, this is a 2.5 inches in length. And um, this this it's not it's not the same increment between these holes and these holes. So in this case we'll just keep it three holes since it's simple, but later on we'll be able to change that with configurations. So to get started, we'll just create a rectangle in the sketch. So I'm gonna drag and use the rectangle tool here, and after this we'll want to give it a dimension. So give this like a set length. So you can click on the dimension tool or click D, then click on the line, click again, and then enter the length. So in this case, it's 2.5 inches, and then for this side, it would be 1.5 inches since it's three holes. Then after this, you're gonna add more lines to give it the structure of the Lexan that we have. So we'll add a line here to here, and since it's dotted, that just means that it's perpendicular with this initial line, and that means it's also parallel with this line. So that's how we want it to be. We'll have it go there, do the same thing on this side, and then do the same thing across here. Then after, we're gonna dimension the lines together by giving them a set distance. So right now, if you were to click on this line and then this line, in this corner, it'll tell us how far apart they are. And we'll want them to be 0.5 inches since that is the same as metal. So we'll click on dimension, use the dimension tool, and then give them a distance of 0.5 apart. Then do the same thing here, do the same thing here. And then now you may notice that all of these parts are separated. So this part, this face, and this face are separated. So this face, we don't want this face. We want all of these other faces to be connected. It'll be better for the sketch that way. So to do this, we'll delete this line, and then we'll create lines here and here. And this causes this part to not be part of the sketch anymore, really, because we don't really want it to be. And we can do the same thing, a similar sort of thing here, where we have a line go from this point to this point, and a line go from this point to this point, and that makes it so there's only one face, which is better to have as a sketch for a sketch. So after this, since it has an overall same shape, then we can start adding the holes. So we'll use this circle tool here by either clicking C or pressing on it, and then we'll give it a diameter by pressing on the circle itself and then pressing again. And then we'll give it 0.162 inches as the diameter because that's the size of screws. So now once we have it this size, we'll be able to have it be 0.25 from this line and 0.25 from this line. That way it's in the center, so it's in the middle. And we're gonna have three holes in this direction, right? So we can either copy and paste this circle by holding on the circle, pressing copy, Control C and then Control V. But a much better way to do it, instead of having it like this, is to use a pattern. So if you were to click on this tool with these like boxes and click on linear pattern and then press on this, then it'll allow us to have a pattern of these circles. So we can use this square tool and drag it here. So that way it knows where we want the pattern to be, what direction we want the pattern to face. And then we can press on this dimension of how much it's incremented and then just make that 0.5 since that's the proper spacing. And then just to make sure it's proper distance away, it's in the middle. After we can press check and then just give it a dimension after. But the thing is, if we were to do that right now, see how this it's a little hard to see right now, but if this was initially point 2, you may see that notice that this overall shape is moving instead of this. This is staying the same, but this part isn't staying the same. So that's not how we want it to be, because we want it to be aligning this pattern itself within the within this side of the Lexan instead of this moving itself. So to do that, we'll have this be a set dimension away from the origin. So let's say 1.25, and then we'll have this be 0.75. Oh, that's really bad. But, or actually, yeah, it shouldn't be like this. Instead, it should be, okay, delete that. Instead, it should be like this. Have this be zero point 0.5, since that disappeared from before. Then after, when we set this to be 0.25, so it's in the middle, then it'll align itself in the middle without moving this much. So we should also do the same thing on this side, since it's important to have it dimensioned. And we can go ahead and do the same thing with the circles on the other side. So you can have the circle here, have it be 0.162, have it be 0.25 from this line, 0.25 from this line, and then use the linear pattern. Press on the circle, bring it here, make this 0.5, and we have to make sure that this is also 0.125 so it doesn't move around, so it stays the same place. And then after, we can do the 0.25. So you may notice that some of these lines are black and some of them are blue. So blue lines are basically lines that are, they might have set dimension, so it's not like a random decimal like number, but they're able to move. So if I were to drag on this line here, it's allowed to move. But if I were to drag on this line that's black, it wouldn't move at all. So typically we want it to be black, especially if it's some parts that are compared to it are moving. So with the linear pattern, since all these parts were relative to this line here, we wanted this to be stationary. So we had this connected to this and then had this line connected to this. So um overall it's better to have it be black, meaning that it's more configured. So after this, then we can add our holes here. So 0.162 like this, and then just have this be 0.25. Then we can also do the same, you can do the same linear pattern thing. In fact, you can delete this and just add another linear pattern on this circle here. And then we can make this 0.5. And then we'll just increase the count so it's 4 holes, and then that way everything here has a hole. So now it has the overall shape of the Lexan. And in this Lexan, it's a little bit curved. So the way that we would do that is by doing fillets. So you could either do that in the sketch or outside of the sketch. So we would click on the fillet tool here, and Shift F, and then you press on this, and it allows you to fillet it. So this is a lot in my opinion, so I'll make it 0.125 instead. And then it'll basically allow you to fillet every corner of the sketch. And it just makes it look a little bit nicer. So you can do that for all of these sides. Do that here, do that there also, have that be there also, and here as well. So now we have the Lexan, and to make it 3D, you would just hold on the face that you want to make 3D, so none of the holes are gonna extrude as well. And you click on this extrude tool, and it extrudes it 1 inch by default, but for Lexan, it should be 1/16 inch. So you just have it be 1/16, and then it allows you to have your Lexan like this. And no Lexan's typically blue, so to change the color of your Lexan, you go to Parts, right click, and then click Edit Appearance. So this allows you to change the color, change the transparency. So if you had, let's say, transparent Lexan, you would make it white, and then change the transparency as much as you want. So let's say 0.25, then you can see through, it'll be somewhat see-throughable. So yeah, that's how you create Lexan. And the next video, I'll show you how to make this configurable so you can change the size of the Lexan.